What's up? Hey, so we're back. Uh, enjoy the happy animated me. So what I kind of wanted to talk about, right? I keep hearing this over and over and over again. Flesh and Blood is uncollectible. Blah blah blah. There's no way it's gonna do well. Sealed is terrible. Like we just had this like year long bender of sets, right? Like Hunted was insane. Rosetta was insane. High Seas was insane. Super Slam did okay. Whatever. But now that it's back, right? This same mentality, like, oh, Flesh and Blood's terrible, it's shit, no one wants to buy it, it's uncollectible, it's unplayed, blah 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 blah. This is like a running meme now, right? Let's take a minute and talk. If we go back and look at Magic, right? Early '90s Magic, like it's the early era, it's just played. That's it. No one collects it. No one's thinking about collecting it, right? Goes through its phases. First 4 or 5 years, it pops off. They have to reprint alpha. Then it goes to beta, unlimited, revise comes around. They just slamming these sets out, right? Then the Four Horsemen releases, Arabian Nights, Legends, Antiquities, The Dark, like everyone's loving it. It's this dark, scary, like raw game, right? Again, no one's really collecting the game yet. Like it's just being played. Roll up into the 90s, Pokemon starts coming out. Everyone's talking about Pokemon. We're all playing with the cards as kids. Like, I know you did it. We threw them into bike spokes. Like, I didn't do this, but a friend did. You know, you ride your Charizard down the road going brrrr in the spokes of your bike. And it's just like, you're not thinking about collecting. You're playing. Early 2000s of Magic rolls around. Stronghold's doing great. Fallen Empires happens at some point in here. Like, everyone's like, oh my god, it's the worst in the world. It's all going to zero. You know, Mirage comes out. Oh god, it's terrible. Blah, blah, blah. A bunch of these sets come out. Like, oh, it's so terrible. And now we go back and look 25, 30 years later, and all these terrible sets are all like 4, 5, 6, 8, 20, 30, 70, 80 plus times MSRP. And they're great sets. Pretty much widen across, except for Fallen Empires. Fallen Empires sucks. But again, it's still like $450, $500 a box. You know, when it came out, it was like, what, 75, 80 bucks to buy it, full retail? Like, find me how many things over the course of 25 to 30 years resulted in a 500% growth. That's phenomenal. Like, let's take a moment and talk about it. That's phenomenal, even for a terrible set. And you go back and look at, like, ABU, you're talking tens of thousands of percentages. You're like a Bitcoin meme level stocks here. Like, this is crazy gains. So, back to Flesh and Blood now. Let's take these same statements. It's about 5, 6 years old now. It's played. It's not collected yet. Everyone is playing the game. They all are playing it. The player community is growing, just like Magic did. The competitiveness is growing, just like Magic did. Crazy. Boxes aren't getting reprinted, just like Magic. Crazy. There's a reserve list with cold foils. Crazy. We begin to see like these correlates, right? Now, if we go back and look at Magic again, in the late 90s, an alpha box was not $5,000. It might have been like a few grand, but it was not $5,000 or $6,000 for an alpha box, right? Like, they were still trading hands or moving around. And even if it was, beta boxes were available, and unlimited boxes, they were definitely available. Because I remember seeing like a buy list in a, I think it was like a 1999 Scryfall magazine. You could buy like a full alpha set. Like a full alpha set for a few grand. Like, think about that. Like, a full set, like, including the Lotus, the Duels, all the Power 9, the Moxen, everything. Your Time Walk, the whole 9. A few grand for a full alpha set. And I think some of them might have been LP or something like that. But, like, still, a few grand. And you're just home free with, like, the rarest cards in the world. And we go look at Flesh and Blood. And in 6 years, boxes have gone 20 to 30x MSRP. This is referring to alpha, right? Like, you can go buy an alpha box right now between 16 and 2,000 bucks. You might pay 8 to 9 for a case, full retail, something like that. And we have this disparity, right? The game is 6 years old and stuff is already 15 to 20 times MSRP. It is so young, it blows my mind. if we look at the trajectory of what Yu-Gi-Oh did, what Magic did, what any card game has done over the course of decades, they all started with strong player communities. And this is fundamentally one of the most important things, because as players get older, they acquire more assets, they get more wealth, they have more spending money, they have less time. Key word here, they have less time. This statement is very important. So the Magic folk of the early 90s and late 90s and early 2000s, Magic collectability really didn't start becoming a big thing. Even then it wasn't a big thing until the late 2000s, early 2000s even. People were collecting, master setting, doing this thing, but it wasn't really mainstream, right? You move into the early 2000s, late 2000s, it starts becoming more of like a commonly accepted thing. Like, I collect XYZ. People have been doing this in sports for decades, so this is nothing new, nothing surprising to the world, right? But it's new to the playable card games. And it starts becoming more commonplace. People start collecting, they start buying these things because, you know, I played Magic 10 years ago. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to go relive the nostalgia. I have dispendable money. I'm a Wall Street bets man. I've made all my millions. I'm rich. I'm going to go buy a full set of Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, and Revised because I can. What's 15 to 30 grand to me now? Har, har, har. And you see this start to occur. It happened in Pokemon. It happened in Magic. It happened in Yu-Gi-Oh! These games, naturally, as time evolves, the game expands off of the players. Those players then have less time, they have families, they bring their kids into it, and they want to relive those nostalgic moments when they have money again. And they go back and buy these things, and they remove supply, and it keeps steadily eroding supply. And all of a sudden, Stronghold's $4,000 a box. Fallen Empires, the worst set in the history of Magic, is $450. An Unlimited box, tens of thousands of dollars. Legends box, tens of thousands of dollars. Antiquities, tens of thousands of dollars. Dark, thousands of dollars, because it's the redheaded stepchild that no one loved. Well, one person loved him, it was their mom, but that's it. So, we have this disparity in the flesh and blood market, right? Everyone was so ruined after COVID. They want this, this instant gratification, this oh yeah, I'm gonna be a millionaire in 4 days, dude. If I hold Pepe stock Donkey Kong coin, I'm gonna be a billionaire. Yeah, dude, let's go, bro. It's this really weird disparity that occurred, right? Everyone kind of got reprogrammed to having this short-term memory thing, right? And they just all of a sudden they want to oh, now, I need it right now. Oh, it's gotta happen right now. Oh, if it doesn't happen right now, I'm gonna be broke in 3 days. I'm looking for a case actually, because I usually have one laying around, but I don't. But there is a world, right? Oh, where even something, right, like heavy hitters, just a loose box. This released almost 2 years ago now. What is it, $75, $80 for a box? Something like that. Why would I expect this box that's only a couple years old to suddenly be worth thousands of dollars, right? It just doesn't make sense. But now let's apply the same logic that has worked for every successful TCG in the past 25 to 30 years. Let's just target the big three specifically. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic, right? All three of them had one thing in common across the board, whether it was players, collectors, whatever. It was a consistently growing community. You don't just manufacture a community overnight, right? It just doesn't happen. So you have to be patient with these things, and you have to build it, and you have to attract them with ways. Whether you do it through collectability, Pokemon, playability, Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh. Also some collectability in Yu-Gi-Oh. It was there at one point. Now they just reprint everything to oblivion. It's fine. Magic, same thing. They just reprint everything. But it doesn't matter because these boxes are not becoming less plentiful. They don't print more. And this is the key thing. If you're patient in these markets, if you believe a game is going to last, Flesh and Blood is not going anywhere. Let's be honest here. They're expanding operations next year. They're going global. They've been global, let's be honest. They're in multiple countries. There are multiple languages. If you look at the correlation between Magic and Flesh and Blood, because it's the most easily compared one-to-one, right? Flesh and Blood is very competitive. There is a massive growing player base. I believe there are over 1 million players now at this point. Maybe even 2. I don't know. I don't have the actual numbers, but I'm just going off the metrics, right? You have multiple stores picking up the events and locations and doing product. I have someone who's literally opening up a store to be Flesh and Blood focused. Like, these are things that you see that are really good signs of a growing community, not a community that's dying. The problem is everyone is so ruined from COVID. They're like, I need my stocks right now or it's all gonna go to zero. Wah! And it's like watching a temper tantrum every time. And I'm just like, you have no patience. Like, well, I'm already in whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, then don't buy it. Like, just go buy something else, you nit. Like, this doesn't make sense. So if you have the mentality and you enjoy the game, collect it. Don't play it, whatever you want to do, but enjoy it. That's what matters. Now, let's go forward here. Where does Richard see Flesh and Blood in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Well, candidly, in 5 years, I don't see it going anywhere. In 20 years, I could see some interesting things happening. It's that 20 years is a long time. Tech's a big thing. Modern evolutions. Maybe there's some new ultra technology game where it's like ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon GX tag team Flesh and Blood. I can play everything at once, all from my headset VR and explode doomsday robots, and it's all based off of digital NFTs. 20 years is too far to predict. I believe that in 15 to 20 years, card games will still be a thing. Regardless of how big technology is, I do believe card games, board games, D&D, this type of community-driven event will always be a thing, because no matter how technologically advanced people become, we always crave one thing, which is community. Outside of the rare hermit exceptions, but that guy's a hermit. Leave him alone. See what I did there? So outside of that rare exception, people crave community. So I think even in 20 years, people are still going to be playing TCGs. They may not look like they do now, but they're still going to be playing them in person, enjoying it, communicating, conversing with people. Now in 10 years, 15 years, I still see Flesh and Blood being a thing. And now what is naturally going to happen? I naturally see things like heavy hitters. Even though today it's 70, 80 bucks a box. That's fine. It doesn't matter. We can record this later and be like, damn, dude, you threw like a $10,000 box. But here's the thing. At some point, the market will turn and realize, hey, it would be cool to have a sealed case of this. Hey, I want to go relive the nostalgia of drafting heavy hitters. And they're going to go buy a case and rip it open. And they're going to keep doing that. They're going to keep doing that and doing it and doing it and doing it. And eventually something is going to happen called a shortage of supply. And when that happens, even the most hated sets, Fallen Empires, will turn into $400 or $500 boxes. Now, do I think every FaB set is going to turn into $500+ boxes? I don't know. I don't think so. But I think those first sets, those first 6 to 10 sets that were released in the game, when First Edition was a thing, Unlimited was a thing, when FaB 2.0 initialized and started, I think there is an incredible opportunity long-term if you're willing to wait. But it's going to be a 5, 10, 15-year plan. Now, I have the mentality of everything that I do is a 5, 10, and 15-year plan. I started buying Flesh and Blood so I could hold it for not just a year or two, for 5, 10, 15 years. Like, this is not something that I was like, oh, stock mean Pepe coins, Frogger, blah, 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 billion% gains. Like, this is not something I jumped into expecting this. It's awesome if it happens, but it's not what I was expecting. So yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. I think the game is going to do well. Just be patient. Change your outlook from the COVID era, oh my God, it needs to go to the moon, to, all right, you know, it went up $3 this year. That's good. Wait for the time when the shortage hits and it's like, oh, it went up $300 this year. Because inevitably, when supply gets short, demand increases, prices go up. It's crazy. So if you think the game is going to succeed, just be patient. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep being patient and keep buying it. But yeah. Bye.